What matters is our plan.
Precisely there. Hey guys, what's going on? Beams here, and welcome to How to Be a Professional YouTuber with TheQuartering. Because I remember, I happened to read an article from Vice, and then the next day, which happened to be yesterday, I saw Jeremy from TheQuartering. He was covering the same article. Our takes, however, did seem to be a wee bit different, though. And a lot of this could be explained through modern mimetic theory, but we're gonna just take a look at this real quick. So, Jeremy, what do we got going on with Mr. Smith?
And it sucks. But anyway, 11th day now of Kevin Smith not saying a single thing about the second half of the season. Like, is it?
Really?
Are they not going to release it? That seems unlikely, right?
Huh.
But it's been now almost 11 days, since Kevin Smith has said a single thing about this show. Actually, here's the July 26th saying it. So,
okay, all right. So apparently, aside from all the frame droppings via StreamYards and everything, which I keep hearing about, yes, hopefully the audio is coming through at least 0x5, something like that. But, oh, really? You mean somebody that would say something and their engagement with the fan population really wasn't going all that great for them? Maybe occasionally you stop talking about something you're getting heat from on the internet? I don't know. All I know is you're here. Here's the intro.
Though I know I should be wary, still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose. Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
Welcome, everyone, again. Yes, that's right. I see you there, Mr. James, as well as Tommy from the Guinea Pig Collective. Welcome, everyone. Now, I actually do remember the Muppet movie, and I remember the whole, are you a man or are you a Muppet? Sometimes I feel like a Muppet. Why? I've been hanging out with a lot of puppets recently. It's all right. Puppets are people, too. But now, back to this article. Or, excuse me, the article that Mr. Jeremy from TheQuartering was reading to us. So, according to my notes here on the internet, I now go to the 8-minute mark. Why? Well, because to remember all that would be kind of difficult, even though I did take a power nap. So let's just continue.
Decisions in legacy nerd media will blame the fans for negative reactions, rather than taking the blame for their own presumably bad creative choices. It is reasonable that some He-Man fans would be upset that Master of the Universe show doesn't have a lot of He-Man.
Really? Oh my God. It's not like it's like, I need a hero. It's like, yeah, I thought that was a pretty good intro. Yes, I realize the season is only half over, but it's like, let's keep going and we'll give our thoughts after.
Is it reasonable? Of course it is. To those fans, saying that some fans have unrealistic expectations about the media they love is denying them their God-given right to dictate how that media is made, and also to complain when it misses the mark. Wow, this is actually like Vice, a Vice article that actually goes against Kevin Smith and supports fandom.
Okay, and that really kind of is the moral of the story there. Because the terrible thing is, it seems to be completely proving modern mimetic theory, just because it's like, all right, how do people often react on this internet as stuff and things? Well, there are things that we like. There are things that we don't like. Depending on the groups around us within our mimetic lattices, laddie, something like that. My friend was lattice, or laddie. It's all right, squirrel. It's all right. Hey, we got to take care of our parrot friends, because parrots are highly intelligent creatures. Now, I thought this was fascinating because if you have things that you like, things that you don't like, then you're going to have other folks that like those things and other folks that don't like those things. So you have your internal actions of whether you like it or don't. You're going to have the external actions acting upon you, and then whatever your observed experience is going to kind of play it out. It's like, all right, I saw it. I'm like, did I think maybe He-Man maybe would be the protagonist? I'm just saying. They did rename it Masters of the Universe, but we're going to actually pop over here, and we're going to share the little screen again. Why? Well, number one, because we can, and we actually want to get to the article itself. Because to be fair to Mr. Jeremy, I do remember in another video from like a year or so ago, he said, "Oh, I read these articles when I'm here to get my initial reaction," which, to be fair, is fair. However, he did also seem a little surprised. He's like, "Wow, a Vice article going against him." Was the article really going against him, or was it engaging in, I don't know, journalism? And that's like, yeah, some people got an issue with this. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, what's actually happening? The reason why I say this is because if we actually go to the end of the article, the term victim blaming was popularized by a 1976 book by sociologist William Ryan. They used the titular framework of blaming the victim to explain the cycle of poverty, especially as poverty intersects with race. The idea that poor people are poor because they waste their money on frivolous things is a way of blaming the victim. You're saying that the victim of a negative circumstance is to blame for being that in that circumstance. It's not difficult to draw the line between that language and the ontology of fan blaming. But unlike the subject of Ryan's blaming the victim, fans of He-Man aren't a protected class. Fans may be being blamed, but they're not the victims of anything. Now, why do I highlight that? Because all I know is at least within an approximately 10-minute video, because you totally want to fall within that algorithm. So I got less than 3 minutes, the same amount of time that Ultraman can retain his gigantic form due to Earth's polluted atmosphere. Totally no promotion of the planet or anything there. But all I'm saying is that may have changed one's views of the article. And again, I do not know this. I am assuming you know what that makes me, but I'm assuming that if you read that at the end, you might have a little bit of a more negative taste in your mouth and be like, wait a second, they're saying we're not the victim. And again, when I hear some folks saying that they took this as a personal punch to the face, they ruined their childhood. I'm like, was that a pretty good childhood? I mean, if this literally ruined your childhood, that He-Man was, maybe it was. For those folks, I apologize, because we should care about other people's feelings. But I think what gets wrapped up in this is I see a lot of folks, and they're giving decent criticism. But let's face it, universal truth number one, people ruin everything. And you're always going to get these people that, colloquially, I believe, again, Lex Friedman refers to them as assholes, that go out there, spout a bunch of hot garbage and stuff. Why? Because they can. And then all of a sudden we end up paying more attention to that because, at least in our developmental and the orienting reflex that we have in our brains, it's like we're kind of geared to look for threats. Again, I am not a biologist. I just listened to the first half of Maps of Meaning from Professor Jordan Peterson. And if we're geared to look for threats, those are the things that are going to stand out. Those are the things that kind of like mean words on the internet that kind of hurt us. Yeah, that happens. You can have all the nice words, but it's the negative things that often stand out. That's just kind of how we are. At least that's how I operate. So what I'm saying is, if you happen to be a Mr. Smith and all of a sudden you see this and you kind of start ranting onwards and onwards, it's like, yeah, well, he's kind of done that. And a lot of his, I've paid attention to a couple of his live streams. It's like, all right, it's Kevin Smith being Kevin Smith. All right. All of a sudden, a lot of folks that are just curious about different comics or what he's got going on. All of a sudden, you got folks that are much more critical, and it feels like you're kind of getting like hit from all angles. So he continues to be Kevin Smith. He doesn't realize, wait a second, you're also kind of representing a show. You're an ambassador, if you would. Maybe you shouldn't be fighting with a clientele. And maybe that's why he's not necessarily saying anything. And again, that tweet from, I don't know, a year or so ago, it's literally about He-Man, all capitals. That's what you did, man. That's what you did. It's, if you know it's going to be a Tila protagonist, just be honest with people. That's the thing. But yeah, just kind of want to lay it out, because remember, don't read the article and I've been around these parts long enough to remember when Tim Pool still put the links to the articles he covered in the description, and he actually wrote a little summary. It's amazing how far we've come. But at this point, within my particular notes as well, I'm supposed to share this video again as I narrate, and I go to the 10-minute and 55-second mark because this, oh my God, what the heck did I do? I did so many things. All right, this is the most important part about being a professional YouTuber.
Doesn't look good, but make sure you click that red subscribe button down below the video, and I'll make sure I cover each and every bit of it.
I know. It's amazing. You gotta get your sponsors. Make sure people click the appropriate things. I still need to do that mashup of the like, comment, subscribe, and just put it to that old school like marching World War II music. Why? Because I think it might highlight a very interesting point. I'm just saying. But again, welcome LDG, Tim, my favorite folks around, my favorite Sith from another. I'm not even going to try it there. But hey, thank you all for watching. Peace out, everybody. Be safe. And again, no matter what happens.
I put the fires out. You made them work.
That was the wrong thing. Here we go.
How do you know if any of this stuff is true? How do you know someone didn't just make it up?
What? You mean just lie? You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
I just mean that some of the details...
Oh, I never thought of that. This is terrible. What if none of it's true? What if they're all lying? How would we ever know?
Have you guys checked out the Memes of Destruction's channel? He's an interesting dude. I like him.